Hello, everybody. This is Talk Like a Lady. It's a podcast where we find out all about our favorite ladies. I'm Carly Morton.
And I'm Jessica Fontana.
And today we're talking to our first international podcast person. I'm sorry. She lives in Ontario. And her name's Jenna Frelick, not Freelick. So, hi, Jenna.
Hello.
So, I talked to you because we're both in podcast arenas, and we were just talking about, what we're doing for our podcasts. And we got to talking, and you're doing really cool things besides the podcast that you have. And so we got it all set up. So what are you drinking?
I do not drink alcohol ever. And on top of that, I'm pregnant. So I am drinking hot chocolate, which is one of the few beverages I can keep down at this moment.
Oh.
How far along are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no, not at all. 11 weeks.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're in the real icky part.
Ooh.
The ickiest. Well,
yeah, that is the worst because
good
everybody's
for
like,
you. Drink that hot chocolate.
Yeah. But everybody tells you, oh, it'll go away at 12 weeks. But you don't know that, and it's just a mind fuck.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
rough.
I've lost like 7 pounds already just from morning sickness.
Right. That's
thing.
how I was too. The first like 3 or 4 months, I lost all the weight because all I had was root beer and crackers. Those were the 2 things.
That's the breakfast and lunch and dinner of champions.
It really was. It was delightful.
Carly and I are drinking a Boulevard Imperial Stout. Is that what I brought?
I don't know, but it's really fucking good.
It is good. I'm assuming Carly told you had homework for tonight.
Yes.
So first, who is your badass lady?
So I thought long and hard about this, and I was like, oh, I have to pick someone like inspirational and huge. And I was like, well, no, not necessarily. I'm like, I don't want to pick someone I'm not already familiar with. So I ended up thinking it over and picking my grandmas.
And what are their names?
Nell and Wilma.
I love grandma names.
I do too. Nell is so cute. Oh, anyway, go ahead. Tell us about your grandmas.
Oh yeah, I just, as I got older and started building like an actual adult relationship with them, the more I learned about their actual past and everything they went through to come to this country from Holland and Germany when they're, 16 with a $5 bill and a husband.
Oh God.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
That's about it, right? Living through World War II and the Depression and just all of the things that they've overcome to build the life that they have now is just pretty freaking amazing.
That is amazing.
Nell and Wilma.
Coming over at 16 with a husband.
Oh boy. That's it is when you're an adult and just all the relationships in your life, it's really interesting when they change and they start talking to you like an adult and telling you adult things, and it's kind of fun to learn things about the people in your life. So that's a good one.
I know.
What's your organization that you wanted to highlight?
The organization is called I Support the Girls.
That
And
sounds perfect.
They're located mainly in the U.S., but they do have some Canadian locations. And basically their mission is to provide hygienic products, whether that's like menstrual products or bras or underwear or whatever, to women across Canada who can't get access to them, specifically survivors of domestic abuse or homelessness, those sorts of kind of vulnerable situations.
I love that.
Yeah, they sound amazing. And they kind of, Like that goes into a lot of the guests we've talked to in the first season. We talked to someone who was a domestic violence survivor, and she's having a movie made about her.
Oh, wow.
It's true.
And she wrote a book, and it's getting ready to come out. And then just a bunch, like that puts 3 things that we've had before all into one.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's a really good organization. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, I was going to look it up so we can get the right address in there.
Yeah.
All right. So we wanted to know what it was like for you growing up. Like, how was school? Did you like going to school?
And where did you grow up? 'Cause,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
So,
Canada.
I was a kid in Canada. I was a kid who spent pretty much my whole childhood, my whole teenage years in the same house. So no moving
Nice.
around for me. Pickering is the town that I grew up, which is basically, for those not in Ontario, is about an hour east of Toronto. So basically Toronto. Pretty standard suburbs. School area was nice. It was a nice little 5-minute walk away. I enjoyed aspects of school. I've always really, really liked learning. But because of that, I was always kind of pegged as the goody two shoes A+ student or whatever. So of course with that comes bullying. And
right.
that sort of stuff.
Which is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Oh, you're smart.
Ooh, you care about your grades. How dare you?
It's just
Yeah.
so. Anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
did you have siblings?
Yes. So I have 2 siblings. I have a brother who's 10 years older and a sister who's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
Did you like being the baby?
I would never say I was ever really the baby. I was kind of in charge between my sibling, like my sister and I.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. She feared me. I was a little bit of a demonic child.
Yes.
Yeah, but in
It's
terms
what
of my
we'd like
brother,
to
it was
hear.
nice having. Yeah, in terms of my brother, it was nice having that relationship because it was not quite father figure. It was somewhere in between who kind of treated me like I was on the same level, but was old enough to drive me around and that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you still get along with everyone now?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good.
Do you guys all live close to each other?
I'm about 40 minutes from both of them, which is nice. And then obviously Snapchat and WhatsApp and all those kind of things help keep us together.
Yeah. And it's close enough you can see each other when you want, but they're not just popping by into your home hey, what's up? Ugh, get out of here.
That is the exact reason we moved. My husband and I moved to where we moved. It was okay, so the parents can come to visit, but it's not too far that they're going to want to stay overnight.
Yes. It's the perfect amount.
Yes. Carly's only saying this because so we live in the same neighborhood and her mom is my neighbor. And so I think she's letting some aggression out right now.
Honestly, my brother is just another mile down the road past where our neighborhood is. And so the other day he's I'm coming over. Okay. Sure.
So you talk a little bit about being bullied, which kind of, that's always a struggle. But is there anything that you would tell your teenage self to help you get through that or just get through life in general?
I don't really know if I would have any advice. I always knew that it would be over and my life would continue on. And in the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter.
You were a mature person.
Yeah.
My my parents always say I was born like 40 years old. Like my bosses always say, like, you're an old soul. I'll catch up to it eventually, and then I'll be like the immaturest person in the seniors home.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't say any firm advice.
You would just be like, go have fun. So I know we already talked about your grandmas kind of being your badass ladies. Would you say they're your women influencers, or do you have someone else that influenced you a lot?
I think, like, to my point before, like, my grandmother's influenced me more than I thought, more like on reflection, because I didn't really absorb a lot. You know, when you're little, it's just like, oh, I have to go hug grandma. Like, it's an obligation, right? And only now that I'm, you know, on my own and starting a family and all that, am I like, whoa, I didn't realize how much I got from them. But
I get
more
to hug
overtly,
grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But more overtly, I'd probably say my sister. She, you know, since I was little, even when I threatened to poke her eyes out and stuff when I was little, she was always kind of like my rock, my anchor, even if we were bitching and not getting along.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, siblings.
I know. So, do you want to do school? We forgot to ask you if you wanted to talk about school when we were talking, but
Again, professionals.
did you,
I mean, we talked a little bit about school.
Tyler, edit this.
Yeah, she was like bullied because she was the smart chick.
Well, yeah, but
The
did you go,
goody-goody.
well, did you go to college after? Did you love school so much that you had to go and do more?
I could not fucking wait to get out of high school and get into university.
Yes, it's at university.
Oh yeah, university.
Sorry.
Canadian thing.
I knew that, and still.
Yeah, for us it's weird. Like, college is its own thing, and then university is its own thing.
Oh.
But yeah,
explain that after you're
Yeah.
done. Explain
Okay.
that.
Yeah. We're not smart. We need it explained.
Like in high school, I always thought, you know, like, people are like, oh, high school were the best 4 years of my life. I was like, that's fucking sad. If
That
that's
would be
true.
depressing. Yeah.
Did you really peak in high school and like you've done nothing better with your life for the past 25 years? That's fucking awful.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I couldn't wait to be done with elementary school and high school and just
Same.
get the fuck out of those circles and be with other people who actually wanted to learn shit and were actually willing to pay money to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to the University of Guelph and I studied psychology, which I loved. I wish I could be a student for life if I had the finances and time to do that.
Right.
So I did really enjoy it. I didn't really do much with my degree, but I don't regret it at all.
Nice.
I think,
Nobody ever uses it.
No,
I know like 3 people that
Same.
use their degree.
I know very few people that actually use what they went to school for, but
I'm
I
one
do
of them.
think it's
I
I do
did
think
not
it's a
use it.
really great experience, and I think it teaches you
Other stuff.
responsibility. Like there's different things that it does teach you. I'm
Yeah.
not sure it's worth all the money that
Yeah.
that I'm still paying.
So much money.
Is university expensive in Canada?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I didn't know
Yeah.
because healthcare is a whole different thing
Yeah, we
in
live
Canada.
in hell
so
here right
I was
now.
like, if college is free, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh God, no.
I'm like, oh, we could move there, and then yet you don't want us,
You gotta go
and
to like
we also
Switzerland for that
can't.
shit.
Yes.
Well, listen, depending on who's elected, things might possibly change in this part of the world.
I'm
Fingers
already
crossed.
fucking nervous about it.
Okay, I do want to talk about what Canadians think of Americans right now, but we'll move on. We'll do that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and
What-
we want you to be brutally fucking honest to our faces about what you guys think about us.
I'll be brutally honest. Canadians are so nice.
Yeah.
And I love their accent.
Except for those few rando serial killers.
That's fair. They have a very good-looking leader of their country.
Hot damn.
Yeah, so that's what I know.
Not fair.
What was your dating life like?
Ooh, I think I always struggled a little bit with that because of the whole, like, I've been 40 since I was 8. So I was impatient and was just like, is this really fucking it? I didn't have a lot of relationships. I never really did the typical, like, date, let's go to dinner and see if it works type thing. I always kind of built up friendships first, and then it kind of slowly progressed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where did you meet your husband?
So that's kind of a weird story because he's actually the older brother of my ex-best friend.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is fun, except for the ex-best friend part. That might get a little weird.
Is there awkwardness?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay, good.
There was some turbulence, but now we are civil sister-in-laws.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
That would be okay. You don't have to answer.
That's fine.
But were you ex-best friends before or after? Like dating the brother?
After, but it was unrelated.
Okay.
She was on board.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
That's acceptable. But
Yeah. Well, either would have been, it was just.
Like, what am I going to be like? No.
You're like, oh shit.
She's
podcast is
judging
over
you
now.
right now.
Have a good night.
How dare you?
Well, that's easy. Keep it in the friends. Whatever.
Do what you
Okay.
can.
My next question, though. Did you always have a crush on him?
Yeah.
That's just so cute. This is like a romance novel in real life.
Is. It's a trope.
That's
is. My best friend's brother trope. And I'm.
Would it
here
help the
for
trope
it.
if my parents did not approve?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, man. Who's writing this book? I'm going to write.
Do they love him now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of awkward if you were like, nope.
Nope. They fucking hate
Thanks
each
for
other.
bringing it up.
But we hid it for about 8 months because when we were just like hanging out, my mother was like, and I quote, "He needs to hang out with kids his own age."
Ooh.
How much older is he than you?
3 years.
Oh, come on, Mom.
Oh, come on, Mom.
Come on, Mom.
Yeah.
Get with
Okay, wait.
the program.
It wasn't like, well, 3 years isn't, because I'm like 15 and 18. Yeah, I wouldn't love that, but it's not. No, I probably wouldn't like 15.
It was
and 18.
always legal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Well, when I say 15 and 18, I'm thinking like freshman and senior, not
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the older you get, the less the age disparity matters.
Exactly.
Yes.
Says me. My husband's 7 years younger than I am, but we are definitely in our 30s. I was like,
Okay.
Come here, little baby.
That doesn't sound creepy.
He was
at
my
all.
child groom.
He probably loves it when you say that.
Oh, he fucking hates me sometimes. It's fine. I tricked him real good.
You need to be nice though, because he's the sound guy and he
is the
edits
sound
things, so he could really keep things
the
in.
hands that I saw earlier.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The husband hand.
Husband hand. He's the sound and video guy because now we record to put it on YouTube, because that's what the children demand.
Oh.
And by children, I mean anyone like at least 5 years younger than me. Damn it, it's my husband. Fuck.
He's the child.
7 years. It has to be 7. Shit.
It just
Sorry, I'm the worst. Whatever.
no, you're not.
Whatever. Okay, so you said you got a psychology degree?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do now?
Now I have an office job. I work in communications. It's okay.
It's okay. It's a job.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Like I still have the opportunity to learn stuff, but it's not a passion of mine. It's
Right.
not. Yeah. That's why I have so many side projects.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever use your degree at all?
No.
No.
It's fine. No one does.
Did you not want to at that point, or was it just really hard to find something at the time?
It was really hard to find something that kind of fell into employment, which sounds really bratty to say because I know so many people struggle with that. But I took a co-op option, which basically gave us 3 work terms throughout our degree. So all of my terms ended up being at the workplace that I'm at now. And then they offered me a job before I graduated. So I was like, well, I'm not going to say no to that. I got student loans and shit to pay off.
Right.
And then I just never left. So,
Well, I mean, it's like a built-in job.
yeah,
Like, heck yeah, I'll take this job.
exactly.
It's kind of part of adulting sometimes. It's just having to
Having a job.
yeah, actually having to pay bills and all that
Right.
fun stuff.
It sucks. But I want to talk about your side projects.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the name of your podcast?
Sitting Crooked.
Yes. And what do you talk about on City Crooked? Sitting.
We discuss all things uncomfortable. So pretty much anything that just gives us the heebie-jeebies could be, true crime, murder, ghosts.
Are you
all
doing
sorts of stuff.
spooky Halloween right now or anything?
We do have a pretty big episode coming up dedicated to Halloween for something that we've been researching for like months and we just
Nice.
can't stop talking about. So
That's exciting.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
exciting. I like spooky Halloween shit,
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, things. I'll listen. I want to like scary things.
You watch the scariest Netflix shows.
Yeah, but that's because I'm an idiot. Like, I don't enjoy it. I'm watching, I watched The Haunting on Hill House, and then I'm watching the Bly House one or whatever it is right now.
I could not get through the Haunting of Hill House. I found it so boring.
What?
It's scary.
It's
There's
okay.
ghosts.
One,
Maybe I just need to push through, but I just found it so boring. I could not get into it.
I hate. I do not like to be scared.
Same.
My 12-year-old, he'll be 12 in 4 days. He loves scary. He gets in trouble. I'm like, listen, I don't like to be scared. You know this. Do not do it. He still does it. But I watched that show and I really, I hated it because it scared the shit out of me. But I just thought it was made so well. And the ending was just I loved it.
And then
This
she
one is
watched
not as-
all of it, and then she watched.
It literally
second
made me
one
cry.
That's on there.
I'm not done with it, but it's not as good. It's not all that scary.
You said there were creepy children.
The first episode freaked me out, and then beyond that, it was
Okay. Well,
yeah. You know what though? I just found out the little girl that's in it. She's real cute. English. She's super duper precious. She's in this scary ass creepy show, and she voices Peppa Pig. Which just
that is the most annoying show.
No.
Totally. No.
You want to know the most annoying show for children is Caillou.
Caillou.
Don't
Oh, yeah.
ever.
Isn't Caillou Canadian?
I don't know. I wish
Damn
you would
you
just
Canadians.
die. I hate that fuck. I hate him.
No, that we can totally edit that Bly House thing out. But seriously, like it's scary things I don't normally like, but I want to, so I always try things out. I do because I'm dumb.
Well, okay.
Now I'm gonna have to listen to that. Is it gonna be like is it a one-off episode, or is it like where you guys talk about it on multiple episodes? This fun, spooky Halloween thing.
I don't know. It might turn into a two-parter.
I like.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
There's a lot to unpack because it's a real topic. It's not like fictional. It's very, very real.
Yeah.
So tell me some of the past topics that you guys have covered, so people kind of get an idea of what.
Yeah, we try and go all over the spectrum. Like some of them are just like kind of lazy, to be honest. Like we play like spooky or weird would you rather, like for the hell of it. Other ones are really emotional. Like we have one that's all about how we were talked to about death when we were children and how that kind of formed our relationships and understanding and stuff with death, like as we grew older. So some are very raw, and we almost like we end up almost crying while we record, and then others are just like super fucking stupid.
I mean, have you met us? Sometimes we cry.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I just say stupid things.
I mean, it's a good mix.
It's a good mix.
That's interesting though. Like that's interesting. I like that discussion or the concept of talking about things like that. Because our childhoods...
Yeah, it's like we try and just talk about the shit that no one else really wants to talk about. Like we have a few staple, true crime things where we talk about murder and that sort of thing, but we try and really just expand and have a super, super broad scope of what we talk about. We've talked about like postmortem photography practices, like
so creepy.
Yeah. Who comes up
ancient
with the topics?
torture stuff. We flip flop, so we take turns.
Interesting.
Who did ancient torture?
That would be my partner, Angie. She's very like literary and historical, and I'm very psychological thriller. So
where did you meet Angie?
At work. She was my supervisor in my first co-op term, actually.
Oh,
that's
right.
exciting.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Forthright Femme. You just launched it?
I did.
And what's it all about? Tell us all about it.
It's all about really the kind of tagline is where honesty meets art. It really stemmed from my impatience with what I call toxic positivity. All that like, oh, you're depressed? Just drink some water and think happy thoughts and you'll be cured.
Just go outside and walk in nature.
Have you tried yoga? Like, just get your MLMs away from me. Get your fucking happy posters away from me. I don't want it.
There.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
so
poster.
It's greeting cards and other products and stuff where all like original art, my art, that are really based off of women's health issues and mental health issues.
I want that uterus mug that says I'm over it, and it made me so happy when I saw it. I was looking earlier and I was like, well, shit, I want this.
That would be perfect.
Mark me down. I'm coming for it. I want it.
So it's all original art. Have you always been an artiste?
Oh, yeah. Since I was allowed to play with glue, I've been, sticking popsicle sticks together and shit.
Nice.
I made this for you.
Yeah.
So
art.
It's art.
I'm always interested in like how people take that step to like really, I mean, that's putting yourself out there. That's putting, I mean, in a really big way, at least in my mind, because, I try not to put myself out there in any way other than a podcast.
Other than this thing where we sit and talk to people.
But I mean, it's been hard at times. So
yes.
yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, what made you take that step? What?
I think, like, I've struggled with depression. Like, I'm pretty sure since I was like a toddler, but it just wasn't recognized. And, you know, within the past 4 or 5 years, I've finally gone on meds, and it's changed my life. And about a year and a half ago, I got to a point where I was feeling, I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I felt like I needed to do something with the fact that I was standing on solid ground, like not just for me, but something. And that's kind of where it came from. So yes, I sell my art and stuff, but the big part about Fourth Rate Femme for me is the community aspect. So I have a blog where I'll be sharing a bunch of my own experiences with PCOS and fertility and all sorts of shit, as well as my, you know, struggle with mental illness. But I'm also having guest bloggers because I want it to be more than just my voice. I want it to be a whole range of perspectives about, you know, what it's like to be female in all sorts of different, you know, walks of life experiences. So I don't know. I just felt like there was a voice that was bigger than mine, and I had a skill that I could kind of use as a foundation to build that up.
See, and I feel like that's so cool.
I know. I'm like, I end up
and
wanting to
that's
be
why-
best friends with
I know.
everybody.
I know. It's like, that's why we want to talk
Yeah.
to people. I mean, that's why we do the podcast, just so we can talk to people about, hey, what's it like from your side? You know, like, what has your life been like? And
Yeah, because there's all like every single episode, there's always things that are very similar amongst all the women that we've talked to, but it's always so different too, and that's why we wanted to do this, because it was just it's fun. It's fun hearing everybody's perspective on things, and
and even because a lot of the people we talk to are around here, obviously, because it's easier to reach out to people that are like really close and be like, hey, come over to my house and do that. Well, I mean, you can't do that now, but hey, after COVID, fucking come over to my house and do this podcast.
Come to my basement.
Come hang out in my basement. So
We're not creepy.
Oh,
Only
we're
if you're
creepy.
7 years younger, though.
Right. Hey, how old are you?
Do not lump me in that. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, you're lucky I even let you in here.
It's true. I'm
Not
older than
7
you.
years younger.
I like you. That's amazing. I like that.
It's like,
Here's the
I
thing.
like the idea of it.
Yeah, because I think the world is burning in some places. Literally, it's a complete shit show almost everywhere.
Yes.
But I do like that, and this is also something we've talked about too, is that there are so many more conversations that were taboo not that long ago. And I mean, I know that mental health, there's still, you know, a lot of stigma and all that stuff, but I do think it's being talked about more, and people are realizing that almost everybody has something, you know, whether it's like anxiety or depression, or it can be anybody. I love, and there's just so many good conversations happening. So
Right.
I
And
do
I think
like
that's part
that.
of what, not to sound cheesy, but like what kind of gave me the strength. Like if you look on my website, it's called Not a Pity List. It's an honesty list. And it's basically a list of all of my struggles. So just open book. Here's what I have going on. Here are my ailments, my diseases, my everything. And I'm not usually one who's outgoing or anything like that, but I figured, you know, if someone who can relate to anything that I'm going through can kind of see like, oh, holy shit, like she just laid that all on the table. If she can do that, maybe I can tell one person and it'll be okay. and then they can get the help, that they need or the support that they need or whatever. So by kind of going to that extreme by comparison, maybe other people's, lives or the steps that they need to take will seem a little bit more possible.
And the more people that do that, it will,
Right.
Ideally, theoretically, hopefully, it will make
Can
it
help more
easier in
people.
the future, where it's
Right.
not as difficult to come out with some of that stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's amazing.
Yeah. What's your website so we can tell everyone to go to it?
Oh, fuck.
Well, fuck.
Wellfuck.com.
Well, fuck.
God, can that be ours?
.com.
I'll have to send that to you because yeah, I'll send it to you.
That's fine.
I'll look it up and then we will put it with all the show information.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we talked about what you like. We asked what you would tell your teenage self, but this one is, what's the best advice you've been given? And it doesn't have to be about anything specific, just like in general, is there something that pops in your mind for something that you really value now?
That is a good question. Shit, I felt so prepared because I was like listening to episodes last week. He's like, okay, I'm trying to remember because I listened to you guys when I first found you, and I was like, okay, these are kind of the questions that they asked. A new one.
This might have been one that, like,
Yeah,
I don't
this
think we
one's
did this in the very
kind-
beginning.
not- yeah,
So if you
not in the
started in the
first
beginning,
episodes. The first episodes were a shit show.
well,
Kinda.
they kind of are
We
now.
just got better. Ish.
I cannot think of anything.
That's okay.
I mean, that's it. That's works. I mean,
works.
if someone was like, "Oh, what's the best advice?" Right now, I couldn't even tell you.
I could. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay. Nancy, who I mention every
Nancy.
single time. This is a good one for you. Listen to me right now. About children. Not everybody has children, wants children, whatever. But
Professional.
when you have your child, trust yourself because you know more than you think you do. So in the very beginning,
That is a good advice.
yeah, in the very beginning, when everything's scary and your hormones are out of control, and even now, cannot tell you how many times I have trusted myself because I know my kids and I know more than I think I do. That's the best advice I've
momming.
ever.
That's a good one. And
Yeah.
I think that's such an important one too, because I mean, not that I've gone through it myself yet, but just by being very close to other new moms and stuff, it is an isolating experience. Like it's a wonderful
So
experience,
much,
but
yeah.
it's so isolating and there's so much fucking judgment about, oh, you're breastfeeding, oh, you're not breastfeeding. Like
Yeah.
the world is, and this applies outside of motherhood, but like the world is designed, especially with the media, to make you think like you're always doing something wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
everyone has an opinion about it, and you should just say, "Hey, mind your own fucking business, and I'll do what I need to do. Thank you. Good day."
Yeah. Mom shaming. It's not.
Oh no,
Nope.
that's on my list of fuck all the way off.
Totally.
And it's always the people who have never had kids
yeah.
who have the loudest advice.
I know. I'm like, listen.
Or just like, I find sometimes it's also even parents who have a little more privilege than other people. Like, you can't, I mean, not everybody is there. We don't always have the same experiences. So shut up and just let people, if nobody's in danger, like,
Right.
just
I mean, don't.
mouth closed, ears open.
Right. Right. No one wants to hear from you. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, that's my favorite advice, though. I tell
That
every.
That one's really good. Thanks, Nancy.
Yeah, she's the best.
Nancy, shout out. Yay.
Number 105.
Right. So Do you have a Me Too moment that you are open to talk about?
Yes and no. So I say yes and no because, and maybe this is a problem all in itself, but like it happened when I was in like sixth grade.
Still
So
counts.
I
Still counts.
it, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it's all part of it. It wasn't, I'm going to stop filtering myself. So I was about to say it wasn't a big deal, but
No.
Right.
God, we do
so
that,
I will
don't
stop.
we?
I will stop filtering myself. Yeah. Basically, there was this kid at school, and he was harassed. Like ever since we were in like grade 2 or 3, he was harassing me. And the principal would get involved and would basically just say, "Oh, it's just because he has a crush on you.
Ugh.
He's just playing. It's just because he likes you." That's what they would tell the parents.
Yeah.
And it was like my parents were like, "What the fuck? No, that's not an excuse."
Right. Right. Yeah, that's
So-
not a real thing. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's not a real thing. So I was in grade 6 or 7, and he's kind of bugging me. We had to like line up outside when we went in for recess, or like after recess or lunch or whatever, in our class lines. So we were in the class line, and he kind of started like pushing me,
Ew.
just like pushing. Whether he realized what was happening, or where he was touching or whatever, I honestly don't know. But for me, at that age where you're like just starting to get into puberty and
Absolutely.
stuff, I was like,
Right.
"Those are
That's
my almost
mortifying.
boobs.
Yeah.
Don't touch
My
me."
almost boobs. You can't touch that place.
No, yeah, that's
Exactly.
mortifying.
And that kind of just added to the confusion of like, is this a problem? Because I mean,
Right.
like there's nothing there, but also like, no.
Right. And also the stupid principal, like, well, he just has a crush on you.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I think that's another one of those things that I hope is changing, though. It's kind of the boys will be boys. No, we are adjusting as a world to the fact that that's not a thing, or it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I think that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Because to me, I don't know the word. It's almost like so many young girls are conditioned. It's why you were making excuses and saying, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." It is. I mean, it is. It's what we learn. It's how we. Damn it.
And I think
the
it's,
world be
I mean,
nicer?
I've been fortunate enough not to have experienced anything else like that since. But I think for other people, that's, to your point, kind of the formative memory of like, well, that was okay. So, or that wasn't that big of a deal. So 3 years from now, when I have almost boobs,
in 3 more years.
Yeah.
exactly.
But even
it's still not that big of a deal. And it's kind of like the reactions and the situation around that, it forms your relationship to yourself and others and what you deem as okay.
Yeah. And I think, for so long, if you weren't raped or something, it was like, well, you weren't raped. It's okay, whatever. Ew. No.
Yeah, it was like it had to go to 100
Yeah.
for it to matter.
Yeah. And that's no. That's ew.
Yeah, I don't like it.
On that fun note, what do you hate about being a woman and what do you love about being a woman?
So I am going to start with hate and then I'll end on a positive note.
Good idea.
So I think what's loudest for me right now in terms of my womanhood is the medical system and how women's health doesn't seem to matter unless you're trying to get pregnant or are pregnant.
Yep.
Because if you have issues like PCOS or endometriosis, it's okay, come back when you want to get pregnant. Okay, well, what about all of these symptoms in between? Oh, just go on the pill.
Yeah, because that fixes everything.
Well,
Or
that doesn't fix anything. It
no.
masks it. And then when I come off the pill because I would like to get pregnant, then we're back at square fucking one and I have all of these symptoms.
Right.
I bounced around through so many doctors and it's so much worse for others. Like I have friends who are deep in the fertility journey. And it's the same everywhere. And unless you're making babies, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think that's a key difference between women and men, because if a man goes in and is like, oh, I can't get an erection, it's like, whoa, hold on.
Sir, are you okay? Here, try all of these things.
Yes, here's all the tests, here's all the medications.
Would you like to try right now?
But for women, it's here, take a pill that masks your symptoms.
Maybe.
Come back when you want to have a baby. Maybe.
I was watching... Have you seen the? I don't know what if it's in Canada. I don't know if it's in Canada, but have you seen the commercials for the like Roman something? It's like Men's Health or whatever, but it's this guy that was like, I had health issues, and it started with not being able to get erect and and it was like a heart issue, and I'm like that.
No.
And so you can like get medication and all this stuff online, and I'm like, see, that doesn't really happen for us usually.
No.
Like, I ended like every time I see the commercial, I'm like, me, whatever.
I know. Or like
I end up like turning into a 2-year-old.
And it makes me angry, and it makes me angry that here, I don't know about in Canada, you guys seem to not live in a dystopian world so much as we do here. But the government telling people, and by people I mean women, what they can do with their bodies, it just makes me so fucking mad. Like, I mean, and the government will pay for wiener pills, but not birth control. Or just, it makes me I just want to vomit about it.
I mean, it
like
sounds
the
like you have the
amount.
same, it sounds like you have the same issues as far as women still aren't equal as far as the care in Canada.
Right. And as long as they're,
and this could backfire, and I may have Tyler edit it out, but healthcare is better in Canada, correct?
I mean, never having received healthcare in the US, I don't know.
Well,
I would say that it's likely more accessible. But depending on what you're going for, I mean, once you're in the doors, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better.
Okay, but like cost-wise.
Oh, cost-wise, yeah. There's no comparison.
That's what I'm, yeah. Yeah. Because...
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's okay if we just die in a ditch. Nobody cares.
But see, I personally have an issue with people having to go bankrupt because they get cancer. I mean,
Oh, no.
Like, I don't know.
Can't
maybe
you just borrow money from your trust fund or something? Yeah, everything sucks.
I can imagine that things probably escalate because of that. Like, oh, my ankle hurts. Should I go in? Well, no, it's probably nothing, or the stomach ache's probably nothing, and I'm not going to go in because I don't want to pay for the MRI or whatever. Right. And then a year later, it's like
$6,000.
Oh, fuck. It's so much worse now because I've avoided it. And now you're in an even bigger hole.
Right. It's just like, oh, now my whole entire body is riddled with cancer. I think I'll sell my house and my car and one of my kids to help pay for it.
People are literally having to choose between medication and food. It's awful.
And we're okay with it here, and because this is America.
Because that is what Jesus would do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what Jesus did do.
Yeah, totally. He just let people be sick and
you,
die.
Bitch. Do you have anything to give me? I'll help you.
clearly we are not bitter.
We're not bitter.
Now, and here's the thing. Like for me, yes, I've had medical bills and things like that. But overall, I'm just angry for other people in this country because to me, to be a nice human being, you actually have to care about other people.
Yeah.
I don't know about you
You
guys,
should.
but...
Okay, what do
Anyway.
you love about being a woman?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, never having been a man, it's hard to make the comparison.
Dude, I love you. Everything is like, well, I don't know the other side, so...
But
But I would say, like, from my experience and just talking to others, there seems to be, maybe it's just the people I hang out with, but like there seems to be kind of a different level of intuition or being able to tune in and empathize with other people. That just seems to be a little bit more common. So I would never want to lose that, even if it meant getting a dick. I wouldn't,
yeah, but you can have this
wouldn't
penis.
trade that.
Penis or empathy?
Empathy.
Can we name this episode Penis or Empathy?
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
I'm writing
You
it
can
down.
buy it. You can buy a dick. You can't buy empathy.
You are so right.
That
You can buy an amazing dick, but you still can't buy empathy.
Yep.
I need to stop repeating myself on every episode. But every episode I say, the biggest problem in the world is our lack of empathy. Boop.
Yep.
You was right. You was right.
Because it
And
covers
people
everything.
always confuse empathy with inserting their own experience.
It's
right.
absolutely, because to me, empathy is not needing an experience to feel a certain way.
Yes.
So I don't need, like, if I was not a woman, I don't think you should need to be a woman or have a mother, sister, aunt, whatever, to empathize with a woman who's been raped or assaulted in any way. I don't think, you don't need personal experience to have empathy.
And even if on some level you do, you can strip down, like, not to oversimplify, but you can strip down those experiences. Like, you've never been raped, but you know what it means to feel vulnerable or violated. So even if you can connect on some level at the root of what that emotion or feeling is, it's something.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people just don't do it and they don't care.
Yeah, it's clearly one of my biggest frustrations with the world. I don't understand not attempting to understand somebody who's struggling in any way, really. Whether it's mental health, physical health, something that has happened to, like, it's just.
And I think coupled with that is there's an intense, I don't know if it's a fear of admitting that you're wrong or weren't aware of something, but it's like, I don't expect people to understand all perspectives in the world. I sure as fuck don't.
Right.
So, but the difference is, like, if someone says, well, you probably shouldn't do that because of XYZ. Oh, fuck, I didn't think about that. I'm so sorry. But no, it's like when you get that response, it's double down, dig your heels in, and no, you're wrong to be offended or you're wrong to feel that way.
Man, you were just over here talking about America. It's just like the Confederate flag boys. Like, these idiots. And
I would say, like, since you brought it up and going back to your earlier question about, what does Canada think about America?
yes,
I
tell
think
us.
I think that's the bottom line, is it's polarized, dig your heels in.
Yes.
Do they?
You're this side, and you are that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But that's because we're right.
Right. My side is right, and I'm not gonna let people.
Like, my side says that we should care about people.
Right.
I feel like that's pretty right. So I do dig in my heels for sure. But you're right. It
is polarized.
It's so much worse
And I mean,
than it's
not
ever
to say
been.
that
Well, I shouldn't say ever. It's
like,
just
not
so
to
much.
say that having a whole group of neutrals is a good thing either,
Nope.
because that just leads to inaction. But there seems to be more confrontation and more like just polarization,
Yes.
at least from like my perspective.
You're right.
Yeah. I think it's just so. It's it's just really hard to. Well, it's really hard to meet in the middle when it's such a shit show.
Yeah.
You know,
When you're
it's
talking
just,
about
I think, yeah.
when you're talking about human life,
like human life,
you know,
racism, they're trying to repeal that any marriages that aren't between a man and a woman aren't real. They're trying to do that again. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna meet you in the middle on that one.
Yeah, no.
I'm just like, that's a non-bending thing for me.
And maybe that's kind of where the difference is that it's vocal. I find a lot of people in Canada, like just you talking about the race thing and everything that's come up around, Black Lives Matter and stuff. Like a lot of people in Canada are like, oh, we don't have that problem in Canada. So there's no one to fight because
They're like, we don't want to fight.
everyone's like, it's okay. It's so much worse in the States. And it's like, well,
I was gonna say
that's not true.
Yeah, maybe dig a
but
little
it's-
deeper.
I think it's because everyone kind of has that. The other thing that people here say a lot is like, oh, I'm not really political.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, by not being political, you are taking a stance of inaction. But in the States, I feel like it's the opposite. It's like you guys are in it, you're fighting, you're talking loudly on both sides, and here it's like, oh, it's not really happening here. So let's just keep holding doors open for each other.
Here for a while too. And it's just
I
finally
mean, to a certain degree, yeah.
gotten to where it's like you're either for all people or against all people or something.
No, I think it's just there's been so much hate that it's hard to, like I said, like meet in the middle. I can't. And listen, I'll say this on a podcast. I don't go out and tell everybody in the world, any family or friends, or like, it's not like I confront people necessarily, but I do have very strong feelings because I don't know. I think things are very backwards, and I think people who say they're Christian aren't very Christ-like.
Yeah. And it's just like now every time someone's like, oh, I'm Christian, and I'm like, oh, so you're racist, and that's not what I should say? Like immediately, that's not what my brain should jump to.
I know.
And it's just like really just exploded since quarantine and COVID and everything. It's just been like, oh, you're Christian, so you're racist. And so like that's not something that should be linked together in people's minds probably. So I don't know. Everything's a shit show here. Jenna, don't visit.
Was not planning on it.
Don't listen.
Probably. We would let you into the country, even though
you could join us in the podcast basement if you wanted to.
Don't come here. People don't wear their masks.
Here's the thing.
Oh, they don't wear their masks here either.
Yeah, but you don't have it there anymore, do you? Wait, you guys still have it, huh?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, New Zealand doesn't have it.
Well, lots of places have done what they needed to do.
It's not us.
We have higher cases right now in Ontario than we did back in like March and May when shit hit the fan.
See,
Have
that's what I'm
people just
struggling
been
with.
going out and
Yeah.
like having fun because it's over.
Yeah.
There was something we saw like a post, someone that was like, I miss the time when everybody was quarantining and we knew the rules, and it was like it sucked, but compared to now, it was a delight, because now some people are quarantining, some people are not, some people are going to bars, some people are not, some people are doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Others are not. So yeah, I do miss those days.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I would
The
much
rules were
rather
more
have
set.
everyone panicked around toilet paper and staying inside than
Correct.
being dumbasses and deciding that they're done with
Right.
COVID. Therefore,
I'm
everyone
done.
else has to be done.
I don't know what happened, because I genuinely feel like people are acting like it's done. But and everybody's like, oh, they're scared of a second wave. But here, the first wave has
it
not
never
ended.
stopped.
Like it's not gone. It's real frustrating. But see, that's another thing, because people that listen to us, this isn't going to piss them off, but
This might be. No, wait. No, it's not going to piss anyone off.
how can you say all lives matter, but then not wear a mask?
Hey.
Anyone?
Hey.
Can anyone answer that?
Don't point out my inconsistencies.
I do.
Yeah, I hate
don't
everything. We hate everything here. Thanks for asking.
Also,
We hate everything here too, but we apologize for it.
I apologize for everything too. I probably
You
should be Canadian.
Just move
We'd
on.
be happy
up
to
there.
have you.
Except for we
Welcome.
can't actually get into your
That's
country.
fair. You
from
guys don't
here.
want us.
You don't want
No,
us.
we do not.
Yeah. Just stay the fuck away.
Here's all. I'm always a little spicy about politics.
Oh.
Hi. But hey, I'm trying to make a really good point here.
Here's tail.
Fucker.
Come here, Jazz. Hey, Jazzy. Hi. Come here.
I'm always a little or a lot spicy about political things, but it's election season, and I just I get really pissy, and this is the pissiest I've ever been. I wonder why.
I was in a doctor's office today, and they had the news rolling, and they kept
boy.
playing the clips of Trump saying like, "Housewives are like suburban moms. Why don't you like me?" or something. It's like, what
Which his book go?
What? Oh, first of all, because you said you were going to grab my pussy. That's one thing. Without asking, sir.
Why do you hate me? No, you love me, don't you?
Yeah, I hate Trump. Does that count? I hate him. I hate him.
I can't.
Hi, buddy.
I just can't. I just don't like him at all.
Do you want to do one more question?
It's my favorite question.
That's my favorite question, too. All right. Are you good at taking compliments?
no.
No? Okay, well, give yourself one. It's our favorite.
Deep breath.
You're doing good. You're doing pretty well.
Good start.
All right.
I am good at acknowledging when I need help.
I like that.
Oh.
That's actually a fantastic quality.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I haven't always been, but
right.
it's been
It's a
work.
journey.
I'd rather like rip my own arm off and beat myself with it than ask for help.
She's not lying.
It's a bad thing. It's bad.
Well, I realize that I'm more afraid of failure than I am afraid of asking for help. So I'd rather avoid
Yeah.
feeling like a
I
failure.
really want to avoid failing, so I guess I'll ask for help. No, that's great.
I think
That's a good
that you
one.
should compliment yourself on your fantastic accent. And
Do you feel like I have an accent?
yes.
Just
But
a
also,
little, but
you
not
said
like,
Zed. And that, I did not even know that was a thing until like a year ago. Did you
When
know
did
they
I
say
say Zed?
Zed instead of
XYZ.
Z? I
Yeah.
love it. I really did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might be the minority in the world, but I
No.
did not know that. It makes me happy.
Yeah, it was cute. You're cute. You're just cute, and I like you.
Do we want to do
thanks.
wheel tonight? Do we have time?
Yeah.
That started kind of early, right?
Yeah. Let's do.
So we're
doing
gonna do
some wheel questions.
a wheel of questions. I don't like that one. I need to take
like,
that off
"Fuck
the
this
list.
question."
Fuck you. God damn it! Why is it saying the same thing? I don't want that. Sorry. If you could change one thing about yourself,
What would it be?
I was leaving that out there.
What would it be?
What would it be?
Dot.
Dots.
The dots.
I wish I was less broken.
Right.
Same.
I have so many like lingering injuries and stuff, and it's so frustrating. I can't do the shit that I want to be able to do. I just wish I was less broken.
That's a good answer.
I went to mentally broken.
Right. That's
I
me.
was like, yeah,
Well, also
me,
that.
same.
But I got pills for that. I can't fix my hips with pills.
Right.
Yeah.
Just give me a pill. Be like, ma'am, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, it's not a broken wiener.
Ma'am, those
We
are
can't-
Tic Tacs.
Give me my pills. Okay, the next one is, what is your favorite book? What's your favorite show? What's your favorite podcast?
Okay. Book. Okay, I got two. Nonfiction is called The Fifth Vital Sign. And it's super informative. It's basically talks about how you can treat your menstrual cycle as a tracker for your overall holistic health, as opposed to just like the thing that happens.
The worst thing that happens. I hate this bitch.
And then I guess on the fictional side would have to be Catcher in the Rye.
I like. You're such a smarty pants.
I'm gonna go look this one up. Show.
I'm going to be typical and say it's a tie between Friends and The Office.
Yes. Yes.
So I've seen Friends a few times, obviously, but my 2020 brain, when I've watched it, it hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, oh, a bunch of
It's
white
like fat
folks
shaming.
just,
It's
like,
all white people. It's
living.
yeah.
And how does she get that apartment? And why is it across the hall from a tiny apartment?
But I mean, it. I still like it. It just
It's
sometimes
so
I'm like,
funny. Yeah.
But that happens in almost every older
Yeah.
show that I watch.
It's definitely
Seinfeld.
one of those where you have to view it as if it were that time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. You have to pretend you're in the 90s, and then you're like, yeah, it's still funny.
Oh, I'm also going to add Schitt's Creek to that list.
Oh, yes. Preach. Oh, I love that
It's
show
so funny.
much.
And
Fun
that
fact,
show.
they live like 20 minutes from where they filmed.
shut up.
Did you ever
go over
see
there? Did
them?
you see them? Did you meet them? Did you die?
I did not meet them.
That's okay.
I did not meet them.
Oh God, I have
It's so
such
funny.
a crush on Dan Levy. Oh God,
I know. He's just beautiful.
he's beautiful, and he is just such a wonderful human being.
I know. My daughter, like, we're watching it again because I didn't see the last season because it was on a channel I didn't get it.
It's on
And
Netflix.
So now it's on Netflix. So we started it again, and my 11-year-old daughter is watching it with us.
So good.
And she
Yeah, but
thinks
that's
it's
one
hilarious.
that is one that an 11-year-old could watch. Like there's
she
nothing.
watches.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
Oh, it gives me all the warm
that's a
and fuzzies.
good choice. That's a good choice. All right, podcast.
I'm gonna have to say Snap Judgment.
Snap Judge.
What's that one?
Yes, tell us more.
That is a really cool one. So they also have one called like it's a sub series or whatever called Spooked. But it's all the same producers and stuff. But
I've heard of
main
Spooked.
Spooked is so good. But
It would
Snap
scare
Judgment
me, though.
is really, really interesting. It's a lot of like human interest stories. Quite often it's told from the actual people who are submitting them. It's really well produced. It's just, I don't really know how to describe it. It's the best way to get as many perspectives on life as you possibly can.
So is it like about a snap judgment that these people made that
Not necessarily. Like it's not so overtly it's not really themed that way. It's so hard to describe. Like it's not one cohesive story or anything like that.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of different human interest stories.
Well, now we're
Okay.
just gonna have to watch it. Listen, not watch. You know,
Sorry.
because
one more?
yeah, do it.
Do you sing karaoke?
Do I sing karaoke?
Mm-hmm.
I have a few times.
Okay, what's your karaoke song?
I can't say that I have one karaoke song, to be honest.
Okay, let's say you walked up on a
Right
stage.
now. And you
What would you sing?
ready to sing
Right now.
right this second.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yes.
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 You know the way to our hearts.
It's through 80s power ballads.
Fact. And Schitt's Creek. You know,
That's right.
she's checked all the boxes.
Oh, sorry. Should have said a little bit Alexis.
All right.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. I'm glad that you could come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like we
likewise.
talked about it 1,000 years ago. But so we want everyone to check out I Support the Girls. That's the charity, and we will put all the information up when we post the episode. And we don't know when that's going to be. We're organized here. Also, we want you to go and check us out. It's at TLAL Podcast. That's our Twitter and Instagram. And you can email us at tlalpcast@gmail. And I think that's all you need to know. So here's to ladies.
Let's start listening to what they have to say.